What's up everybody, Alex here, and welcome to this top 5 guide for the Dota Underlords Season 1 meta. These are the top 5 builds that'll help you find success in this early meta. Let's dive right in, and we're starting with Brawnies, Savages, and Summoners. They are absolutely unbelievable right now. As a general overview, right, you're hoping to actually counter some of the Summoners right now with someone like Disruptor. You can even put Disruptor on the front line if you wish to have him cast a little earlier. That is definitely an option. What you're doing here in the late game, first of all, Disruptor is coming in for someone like Snapfire. You can activate Snapfire with another dragon like Viper, for instance. Well, it would be Viper, not Dragon Knight. Then you pull him out for Disruptor, and then you sell him off. You can also run Axe in the later game. You're going to put Axe in for someone like Juggernaut or Beastmaster, depending on who is the most valuable at the time. Like if you have a 3-star Beastmaster, you're obviously going to keep him in. You know, you're going to have to make that call at when that time comes. So one of them are going to come out. And you can also put in Sand King for Magnus, simply because, you know, Magnus, yes, great in the mid game. He's actually going to benefit from the Druid Alliance as well. But here, you're getting a stronger unit in Sand King. You can also position him here if you wish. You can even position him up front if you wish to bro strike through the opposing team. The one time where I would keep Magnus, if you're against a lot of assassins, which aren't overly prevalent right now, you would keep Magnus here to help protect your rear line. I'm going with support damage dealing Hobgoblin simply because with the extended fights of the Brawny builds, you're going to get great benefit from Let's Go Crazy. But you know, Eno works well here, and of course with Summoners, the healing Nesix with her Golem and Archer benefit from that alliance bonus, so they're a great choice as well. For the second build of this early meta, what I'm recommending is you look at Druids, Savages, and Summoners. Yes, we're going to see a lot of Summoners. This is running the healing support in Essex because Golem is going to benefit from the Summoner Alliance, which is going to get a 40% increase in Golem damage, which is pretty significant. He's going to be hitting pretty damn hard. You're running absolutely essential units like Lone Druid, who, by the way, you're looking for a Refresh Orb if you can. You're running full Savages, which is going to allow all allied units, including your summons, to get a 10% increase per damage dealing attack. Absolutely fantastic. Your primary ace or tier 5 unit is Sand King. Lycan on the edge here because you want to protect Lycan. He's going to be one of your primary damage dealer. You're running Tusk from the early game, and once again, Shadow Shaman, Nature's Prophet, and Magnus on the rear. Magnus positioned here because his Empower is going to be self-casted, so as soon as the battle begins, he's going to stay in position. With this positioning of these units, it protects an Essex. One of the biggest mistakes that new players make is not protecting their Essex, and an Essex getting blown up before she even casts her Golem. That is detrimental. So you want to keep Magnus there to prevent any assassins from beating up on an Essex specifically. If you're not against assassins, which is entirely possible, you could very well move, you know, actually I would kind of do something like this. You want to protect Magnus a little bit. You want multiple casts of Empower if you can, but you can move him up to the front line if you wish. You're going to have Bristleback on the corner here. He has 10 armor and a lot of effective HP compared to everyone else who has 5 armor. Tree and Protector positioned in the middle because the Leech Seed is going to heal everyone within one cell. A very positional unit that needs to be in the right spot. And for the third build of this early meta, what I recommend you run is Spirits. Spirits are actually pretty damn good, especially with Void Spirit coming down from the Ace tier to tier 4. You know, I recently did a game where I had 2 2-star Void Spirits, almost at 3-star, but this strategy revolves around having as many 2-star spirits as you can, including Earth Spirit, who has quite a bit of health and 10 armor. He's pretty tanky. What you want to do is actually, I do recommend running Aggressive Tank Joel here. You can even do Happy Hour Joel as well. What you want to do is you want to take advantage of the fact that everyone starts surrounded by Joel. You want to keep these spirits alive as much as possible. You're also running the Mage Alliance here with the Keeper of the Light and your Crystal Maiden. Now, you could take out Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden could come out and you could put someone in like I would actually kind of do something like this. Legion Commander will be late to the fight, but you could put Legion Commander in as well. Legion Commander does get an additional elemental charge with her Delta Slam, so she does contribute to the alliance bonus of the spirits. So it is something worth considering. It does somewhat complicate the build a little more, and you're taking some DPS, especially off your Storm Spirits for sure. So I do kind of recommend keeping the Mage Alliance active, but if you're interested in trying Legion Commander, it's definitely an option with this build. And for the fourth build of this Season 1 early meta, I recommend you run Bloodbound. Now, there's a few key things happening that are allowing Bloodbound to be so successful. The first and most important is the prevalence of summons. Summoners being what they are, you have a situation where Bloodseeker, who basically gets healed every single time an adjacent enemy dies, that's gonna get triggered by summons. And the result of that, Bloodseeker, who's your primary carry of this build, is going to be in a situation where he is predominantly kept up by summons dying. Perfect. What you're going to run here as well is you're running the healer alliance with the Necrophos and the Warlock. You're running the Warlock alliance as well. The reason for this is because it synergizes wonderfully with the healer alliance, and Warlock has a few key units that are going to help you. Disruptor is going to help you to prevent the casting of the opposing team. You could even put Disruptor up front, something like this, in order to help him cast a little earlier by taking some incoming damage to build up his mana. Shadow Fiend's great because of his AoE damage capabilities. And finally, Necrophos is going to be doing AoE damage to the opposing team while keeping your team alive. The positioning is around Tree and Protector, once again because of the benefit of Leech Seed. Now, in the early game, when you don't have either Necrophos or Disruptor, because they'll be off the board because they're tier 4 units, you're going to have Magnus. Magnus will come in. You're going to benefit from the fact that you're getting the Tree and Protector up to 2 stars, or with the Druid bonus, I should say. And Magnus is going to protect your rear line. If you're not against assassins, you can put him up front here. That's absolutely no problem. What I would actually do is I'd actually put him here and shift these guys over here, because you want Lifestealer on the edge in order to protect him. You want to protect Ogre Magi as well, because you want him to cast as many Bloodlusts as he can. Also, if he's beside Lifestealer, that's going to create a situation where his first cast is on himself and his second should be on Lifestealer. That's very beneficial to the DPS of Lifestealer. I also recommend you do the Ogre Cap. Lifestealer is a great option for the Ogre Cap simply because of the amount of damage he's capable of doing. You're getting a flat 125 damage increase per Bloodbound unit that dies, and that's going to go a long way on someone like Lifestealer. Finally, once you get rid of Magnus, where's Magnus? There he is, and you have Disruptor and you have your Necrophos in the late game, because you no longer have the Druid bonus, you're going to take the Tree and Protector out and you're going to put Axe in because of the difference in effective HP. 2,200 HP versus 3,000, 5 armor versus 15 armor. You're not benefiting from the Brawny bonus here, but you still get your Brute bonus, which is highly effective here. The one thing that you might want to consider doing if you're against assassins again is taking your Ogre Magi and putting him in the back now, because with him in the back, you're going to apply the Brute bonus to anyone that jumps. You can even do that instead of having Magnus back there. You can put the Ogre Magi back there, because if the assassins do jump, you're going to apply that Brute bonus to them, which is key if you hope to survive. I do recommend in this build that you absolutely run Eno. Healing and Stealing is preferred, but all out attack is absolutely fine as well. Healing and Stealing is great because it benefits from the Healing Alliance, and you got a lot of healing with the Warlocks and the healers up front. Eno's highly elusive, he's going to stay alive, and the yoink effect of stealing items is just too damn handy. And to close out these top 5 early builds of this new Season 1 meta, what I'd recommend you do is take a look at Trolls and Summoners. Trolls and Summoners are really interesting because you lose some of the top end damage available by running the full Savage version of this build, but what you gain instead is a 30% attack speed buff across all your units. That includes all your summons and all your heroes. That's really beneficial when you consider they're also getting a 40% damage increase. In this build here, I'm not running Arc Warden. Arc Warden is definitely an option. Arc Warden has a very scalable ability which he can completely run away with. He's certainly an option. I'm running with these units here. One thing I will mention is Refresher Orb is absolutely mandatory on Lone Druid. You are re-rolling for that Refresher Orb. 2 Spirit Bearers is absolutely broken on the field, especially with 40% increased damage and 30% increased attack speed. So anyways, this is a fantastic build. One of the things you want to always remember is you want to position the 2 knights together so that they benefit from the reduction in damage, because the one thing that this build lacks is the ability to maintain a strong front line. What you want to be able to do then, it is hot, and what you want to do is, if you don't go for the Essex here, which I am recommending you go Golem and Essex, because Golem will benefit from both of these here. What you can do instead is you can go with Joel to maintain a front line. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope that you found this guide helpful, and a very special thank you to all of my awesome subscribers. Take care, everyone, and best of luck in Dota Underlords Season 1.